Let's be real for a second. Real life? It's kind of overrated. You have to pay taxes, the weather is usually terrible, and you can't double jump. But video games, that is where the magic happens. We are talking about worlds so immersive, so detailed, and so addictive that you honestly won't want to leave. From dystopian cities to fantasy kingdoms that look better than your own backyard, here are the 19 best PlayStation open world games that are literally better than real life. Let's get into it.
We have to start with the king. The Witcher 3 isn't just a game, it is the absolute gold standard for what a living, breathing world should look like. Most open worlds feel like movie sets where nothing happens until you show up. The continent feels like it exists without you. You walk into a muddy village in Valen, and peasants are complaining about the war. Children are playing in the mud, and the wind is howling through the trees in a way that actually makes you feel cold. It is the only game where a random side quest about a missing frying pan feels just as well written as the main story about saving the world. With the next-gen update on PS5, the ray tracing and texture upgrades make everything pop. Riding your horse, Roach, through the fields of Toussaint in the Blood and Wine expansion is a spiritual experience. The colors are vibrant, the sky is a perfect blue, and the music, the music, swells perfectly as you crest the hill. It doesn't feel like code, it feels like a place with history. Every ruin has a story, every monster has a reason for being there. You aren't just playing a character, you are living the life of a monster slayer on the road. And honestly, I take hunting griffins over a 9-to-5 job any day.
If The Witcher is the king of fantasy, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the undisputed god of realism. Rockstar didn't just build a map, they built a fully functioning ecosystem that is borderline obsessive. The level of detail here is actually scary. NPCs have daily routines where they wake up, brush their teeth, go to work, eat lunch, get drunk at the saloon, and stumble home. Animals hunt each other in the wild. You can literally watch a hawk swoop down and catch a snake while you're just sitting there. The mud deforms under your boots, your facial hair grows in real time, and your horse gets dirty if you don't brush it. It is the closest gaming has ever come to simulating reality, but without the boring parts. Just riding your horse through the heartlands with the sun setting is more therapeutic than actual therapy. The lighting engine is a masterpiece. Watching a storm roll in over the swamps of Lemoyne, seeing the lightning strike the trees, it's genuinely breathtaking. It is a slow burn, sure. Arthur Morgan moves with weight, looting a body takes time, cleaning your gun takes time, but that slowness is the point. It forces you to slow down and actually exist in the world. Once you sink into this rhythm, other open worlds just feel fake and arcadey by comparison.
Forget everything you know about open worlds with map markers, checklists, and NPCs yelling at you to go here and do that. Elden Ring changed the entire industry by refusing to hold your hand. There are no dotted lines telling you where to go. There is just a massive, terrifyingly beautiful world and your own curiosity. You see a castle in the distance? Go there. You see a giant golden tree touching the sky? Go there. The lands between is designed to surprise you at every single turn. The map design is vertical and dense. You might ride an elevator down a random well in the woods and discover an entire underground galaxy that you didn't know existed for 40 hours. It captures that feeling of pure adventure that we all had as kids, where the world felt huge and mysterious. The art direction is stunning. From the rot-infested swamps of Caelid to the golden capital city of Landel, every screenshot looks like a heavy metal album cover. It is punishing, yes, you will die a lot, but the freedom it gives you is unmatched. If a boss is too hard, you just turn around and explore a different direction. It trusts you to find your own fun, and that makes the discovery feel earned, not given.
This might be the most visually stunning game ever made, period. Sucker Punch didn't just make a historical game, they created a version of Japan that feels like a moving painting. The guiding wind mechanic is genius. Instead of staring at a minimap in the corner of your screen, you swipe the touchpad and the wind literally blows through the grass and trees to point you in the right direction. It keeps your eyes on the world, not on a UI element. The atmosphere is ridiculous. Fields of pampas grass swaying in the breeze, golden forest dropping leaves around you, the fog rolling over the mountains. It is pure art. It is a kind of game where you stop playing just to use a photo mode for 20 minutes because the lighting hit the water just right. The director's cut on PS5 adds Iki Island, which gives you even more diverse biomes to explore. The combat is violent and precise, sure, but the moments in between,
composing a haiku by a lake, following a golden bird to a hidden hot spring, create a zen mood that real life just can't replicate. It is tragic, beautiful, and incredibly satisfying to simply exist in. Night City is a character in itself. After all the updates and the Phantom Liberty expansion, this is finally the game we were promised, and man is it impressive. There is no other virtual city that feels this dense, this vertical, and this oppressive. You look up and there are skyscrapers layered on top of skyscrapers, neon ads screaming at you, and flying cars weaving through traffic. It captures that overwhelming feeling of a futuristic metropolis perfectly. The immersion is broken by nothing. No loading screens, no cutscenes that pull you out of your body. You are V 100% of the time. The sound design is incredible. The city hums with life, crime, and advertisements 24/7. Walking through the markets of Japtown or driving through the Badlands dust storms feels distinct and tactile. The visual storytelling is everywhere. You can find hidden gems in dark alleys or read emails on a random computer that tell a tragic story. Driving the Porsche 911 through the rain at night with the radio blasting "I really want to stay at your house" is a vibe that is hard to beat. It is dirty, dangerous, and completely captivating. This is a weird one, but hear me out. Death Stranding makes the world itself the gameplay. You aren't just walking across a map, you are fighting the terrain. Every river, every mountain, and every loose rock is a puzzle you have to solve. You have to balance your cargo, manage your stamina, and use ladders and ropes to navigate a broken world. It sounds boring on paper, but in practice, it is hypnotizing. There is a profound sense of solitude here that you don't get in other games. You are alone in this massive, photorealistic version of a ruined America, just trying to reconnect people. The Decima engine renders the moss, the rocks, and the water with absurd realism. And then there are the moments of pure beauty. When you finally crest a massive snow-capped mountain after a 20-minute struggle, the camera pulls back, and that lo-fi soundtrack by Low Roar kicks in, it is an emotional experience. It is escapism in its purest form, just you, your cargo, and the open road. It forces you to appreciate the journey, not just the destination. If you want to see what your PS5 is actually capable of, play this game. Horizon Forbidden West is a technical masterpiece that is bursting with color and detail. Guerrilla Games created a post-apocalyptic world that isn't gray and depressing. It is lush, vibrant, and alive. You go from dense tropical jungles to sunken cities like Las Vegas to snowy mountain peaks, and every single inch of it feels handcrafted. The textures on the moss, the way the light hits the water, the individual strands of hair on Aloy, it is visual overload in the best way possible. But the robotic wildlife is the star of the show, obviously. Watching a massive mechanical dinosaur emerge from the water while you are hiding in the tall grass is a wow moment that never gets old. The machines have their own ecosystem. You can watch them graze, fight, and scavenge for parts. The underwater exploration is also game-changing. You can dive into submerged ruins that look absolutely stunning, opening up a whole new layer of the world that is just as detailed as the surface. It is a sci-fi playground that feels vibrant and alive in a way that most post-apocalyptic games simply don't. It makes the end of the world look like a paradise. Let's be honest, walking in real New York City is a nightmare. It is loud, it smells, the rent is too high, and the traffic is awful. But in Spider-Man 2, New York is a playground. The traversal system here is so good that it arguably ruins other open-world games. Swinging between skyscrapers, using the web wings to glide through wind tunnels, and catapulting yourself across the map is pure dopamine. Insomniac almost doubled the map size by adding Queens and Brooklyn, and the transition is seamless. You can fast travel from one end of the city to the other instantly, like actually instantly, with zero loading screens. The city itself feels incredibly reactive. You can drop down to street level and high-five pedestrians, stop random crimes, or just perch on the Avengers Tower and watch the sunset. The ray tracing mode on PS5 makes the glass windows reflect the entire city in real time, which is mind-blowing. It fulfills that childhood fantasy of being a superhero perfectly. Why take the subway when you can backflip off the Empire State Building? It is fast, it is smooth, and it is arguably the most fun you can have moving from point A to point B in any video game ever. This game came out in 2013, and we are still playing it. That is insane. But there is a reason GTA 5 is still the blueprint for modern open worlds. Rockstar created a satire of modern America that is so sharp, so detailed, and so cynical that hasn't aged a day.
Los Santos is the ultimate sandbox. It is a world where you can fly planes, drive boats, play tennis, go to the movies, trade stocks, or just cause absolute chaos with a rocket launcher. The scale is perfect, blending the urban sprawl of the city with the dusty deserts of Blaine County. The physics engine is what keeps it alive. Everything feels grounded and heavy. Cars have weight, ragdolls react realistically to impacts, and the police AI is aggressive. When things go wrong in GTA, they go wrong in hilarious, unscripted ways. Even if you have beaten the story 10 times, just driving around the highway at night listening to non-stop pop FM is a vibe that is still unmatched. It is a world where you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, without any real-world consequences. It is the ultimate stress reliever and remains the king of the genre for a reason.
You cannot have a list like this without Skyrim. It doesn't matter that the combat is clunky or the graphics are dated, the atmosphere is timeless. There is a reason people have been living in this game for over a decade. It feels like home. The music by Jeremy Soule, the snowy mountains, the aurora borealis at night, it creates a cozy, magical feeling that no other RPG has managed to replicate. You step out of that cave in the beginning, see the world open up, and realize you can go anywhere. The Anniversary Edition on PlayStation adds a ton of content, including fishing and survival modes, which makes the world feel even more grounded. But the core appeal is still the freedom. You can ignore the main quest about dragons entirely. You can just live your life as a blacksmith in Whiterun, a thief in Riften, or a vampire lord in a dark castle. You start walking in one direction to pick some flowers, get distracted by a cave, find a dwarven ruin, and suddenly it is 3 a.m. That gameplay loop never gets old. It is comfort food in video game form.
If you want immersion over power fantasies, this is it. Kingdom Come is not a game where you are the chosen one who can kill dragons. You are Henry, a peasant who can't even read. The game simulates medieval life with brutal, uncompromising accuracy. You have to eat, sleep, and bathe. If you don't wash your clothes after a fight, people in town won't talk to you because you smell like blood and mud. You have to sharpen your sword manually on a grindstone. Combat is heavy, clumsy, and difficult. Fighting two guys at once is usually a death sentence, so you have to actually train to get better. It sounds frustrating, but it is actually incredibly rewarding. You feel like you are earning every victory. The world of 1403 Bohemia is recreated based on real maps, and the forests are some of the most realistic ever made. Walking through the woods feels exactly like walking through a real forest. It's dense, confusing, and beautiful. It is grounded, slow-paced, and deeply atmospheric. A true role-playing experience for people who want history and realism over magic and monsters. This game is basically a vacation simulator that costs $60. Ancient Greece is massive, colorful, and absolutely gorgeous. Ubisoft recreated the entire Aegean Sea, and the scale is ridiculous. You can sail your ship, the Adrestia, across blue waters while your crew sings sea shanties, fighting pirates, and watching dolphins jump alongside your boat. You can climb snowy mountains, explore dense forests, and walk through bustling cities like Athens and Sparta that are teeming with life. It leans hard into the RPG elements, letting you play as a demigod with superpowers. You can kick people off cliffs like in the movie 300, wield flaming swords, and fight mythological monsters like the Minotaur. It is the kind of game where you can sink 100 hours and still have entire islands you haven't even visited yet. The colors are saturated and vibrant. The ocean is turquoise, the trees are bright green, the statues are painted gold. If you want a world that feels sunny, vibrant, and endless, this is the one. It feels like an endless summer vacation that you never have to leave.
While Odyssey is bigger, Origins has the better atmosphere. Ancient Egypt is just magical. Ubisoft recreated everything from the pyramids of Giza to the Library of Alexandria with incredible historical detail. The desert isn't just empty sand. It is full of mirages that play tricks on your eyes, hidden tombs buried under dunes, and dangerous wildlife lurking in canyons. The contrast between the dry, harsh desert and the lush green Nile Delta is stunning. Bayak is also one of the best protagonists in the series, which helps ground the story. But really, you play this for the Discovery Tour vibe.
It feels like stepping into a time machine, exploring a tomb by torchlight, hearing the bugs skittering on the walls, and finding ancient hieroglyphs is a mood that no other game captures quite like this. The world feels ancient and mysterious. You can climb the Great Pyramid and slide down the side. You can fight crocodiles in the river. It is an open-air museum where everything wants to kill you, and it is absolutely glorious to explore.
This is the ultimate stealth sandbox. The story is unfinished and definitely a bit weird, classic Kojima. But the gameplay? It is pure perfection. The open worlds of Afghanistan and Africa aren't designed for sightseeing, they are tactical playgrounds. You have hundreds of tools, weapons, buddies, and vehicles, and the game lets you solve problems however you want. It respects your intelligence completely. Want to sneak in at night during a sandstorm and extract the target without anyone seeing you? Do it. Want to play Flight of the Valkyries on your helicopter's loudspeaker, call in an airstrike, and ride a tank through the front gate? Go ahead. The emergent gameplay is peak here. Plans go wrong, chaos happens, and you have to improvise on the fly. The Fox engine still looks incredible, running at a smooth 60 FPS, and the controls are responsive as hell. It gives you total freedom to be the ultimate soldier, and pulling off a perfect mission makes you feel like a genius. War never changes, and neither does the addiction of exploring a Bethesda wasteland. The Commonwealth is dense with environmental storytelling. You walk into a ruined building and you find skeletons holding hands, or a teddy bear reading a newspaper. Little details that tell a tragic story without a single word being spoken. It makes the world feel like it had a history before the bombs fell. The crafting and settlement building systems add another layer of living in this world. You aren't just scavenging for survival, you are rebuilding society. You can build entire towns, set up trade routes, and defend them from raiders. The loop of going out, finding cool loot, and bringing it back to upgrade your power armor is incredibly satisfying. Even years later, finding a new location or a weird side quest feels exciting. It has that Bethesda magic where the world feels cluttered and lived in, full of secrets waiting for you to find them.
Most open worlds let you explore the land. Subnautica drops you in the middle of an alien ocean and says, good luck. This is one of the most immersive and terrifying survival games ever made. The underwater biomes are stunning, ranging from safe, colorful coral reefs teeming with life to the terrifying pitch-black depths where massive leviathans live. The sound design is terrifyingly good. You hear a roar in the distance and you freeze because you know you are not at the top of the food chain here. Building your base underwater creates a real sense of home. Sitting in your glass observation room, drinking coffee, and watching the alien fish swim by outside is surprisingly chill, until you run out of oxygen or your submarine gets attacked. It perfectly balances the beauty of the ocean with the terror of the unknown. It triggers that primal fear of the deep, making the exploration feel genuinely brave.
This game gets a bad rap because it launched with bugs, but in 2026, it has one of the best open worlds on PlayStation. The setting is unique. The Pacific Northwest. It's forests, mountains, and rain. Lots of rain. The atmosphere is lonely, desperate, and gritty. Your bike is your lifeline. It is not just a vehicle, it is a character. You have to manage your fuel, repair it when it breaks, and upgrade it to survive. If you run out of gas in the middle of nowhere at night, you are in big trouble. The freaker hordes are technically impressive and genuinely scary. Seeing hundreds of zombies pouring over a hill like a wave is a sight you won't forget. You have to use traps, explosives, and the environment to survive. It is a slow burn, but it really nails that biker versus the apocalypse vibe. Riding the broken road alone feels meditative and dangerous at the same time.
If one world isn't enough for you, how about 18 quintillion? No Man's Sky has had the greatest comeback in gaming history. The scale is impossible to comprehend. You can fly from a planet's surface into space seamlessly, warp to a new solar system, and land on a completely new planet that no other player has ever seen before. It is the ultimate chill-out game. You can build massive bases, manage a fleet of frigates, fight space pirates, or just catalog weird alien animals that look like pineapples with legs. The VR mode on PlayStation is mind-blowing if you have the headset. Standing on an alien world and looking up at the rings of a planet makes you feel incredibly small in a massive universe. Sometimes that is exactly the kind of escapism you need. Just you and the infinite stars.
Sometimes you don't want deep storytelling or complex survival mechanics. You just want to blow stuff up in a tropical paradise. Yara is a beautiful, frozen-in-time island that is just fun to exist in. The colors are vibrant, the Latin soundtrack is a banger, and the sunsets are gorgeous. It feels like a revolution mixed with a summer vacation. It is a chaos sandbox. You get ridiculous resolver weapons like a CD launcher that plays the Macarena while killing enemies, and you get a pet crocodile named Guapo who wears a t-shirt. It is mindless, explosive fun. The world is huge, full of military bases to capture, trails to explore, and hidden treasures to find. It is the video game equivalent of a summer blockbuster action movie. Loud, dumb, and incredibly entertaining to play when you just want to turn your brain off.
So there you have it, guys. 19 open worlds that are basically better than reality. Whether you want to be a cowboy, a samurai, a spaceman, or a Spider-Man, PlayStation has you covered. But I want to pass a question off to you. Which one of these worlds would you actually want to live in? I think I'd take the Shire vibes of The Witcher, minus the monsters, of course. Let me know in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, it really helps the channel out. Subscribe for more content, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.